What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Crafty Little Megan. This time for you I have a hummingbird drawing that is actually from a picture that one of my friends from work has done, and I love the bright colors and I love the composition, and I thought this would be a good first picture to try my hand at colored pencil portrait drawing. So I hope you enjoy what I put together, and I hope this inspires you to maybe give it a try yourself. So as you can see, this project starts with making a photocopy or printing out the picture at a scale that you would like to have your final picture be, and then I just traced over that picture using some carbon paper. For this one I used white carbon paper, but black would work as well. But I chose white because I felt like it would be easier to blend into the colored pencil. Now when I say trace over the picture, I just mean hit the highlights of the picture, any big large details, any spots where there might be a highlight or a low light that is key to making the bird look photorealistic. Definitely you're not going to draw every single line or every single color change that happens in the picture. So just give yourself basically a rough sketch of what the picture looks like. Now, like I said, this was my first time ever trying a colored pencil portrait or a photorealistic portrait using colored pencil. I got the idea because I recently subscribed to Craftsy. It's like a website for craft lovers to try different ideas. There's courses and different things that you can try your hand at. And I saw this class with colored pencil drawing and I thought that it might appeal to me. And I was right. Over the course of this drawing, I realized that this is a really relaxing and just a slow, easy process where you can kind of clean your mind and just meditate on the portrait itself. It's very slow though, so if you're impatient, this might not be the craft project for you. Before I watched the Craftsy class, I thought that colored pencil drawing was really just about finding the color that most closely matches the color that you want, and then the only variation in the color I thought would be from the pressure that you're putting on the pencil. But boy was I wrong. Colored pencil drawing is all about combining colors and blending colors and building up color slowly over time by using different portions or different elements of the color over top of each other to create the desired color. Another thing that I learned is that you can't put too much pressure and that you really have to color softly, especially if you're adding a lot of different layers. You can wear down the tooth or the texture of the paper to the point where it no longer can accept any more layers of color if you're not careful and if you don't just really softly add color. One of the suggestions that they gave in the class was to start with coloring in the eye, which as you can see is what I decided to do. They said that if you don't get the eye to look realistic, the odds of the rest of your photo looking realistic is pretty slim. So I would definitely recommend start with the eye, build up color slow, don't forget to leave out the space for the highlight in the eye, and do not color on that area except for using white, or else you will not be able to get that white highlight to look real in the end. Another thing that I learned was that when you're creating fur or feathers, or even hair probably, the best thing to do is to do not make the ticks in your drawing or the little lines in your drawing any longer than the hair or the feather lines are going to be. So for the feathers on the bird's face, the feather length is much shorter, and so I use shorter lines for that. And then as you can see onto the wing and some of the longer feathers, I used a much longer line to create that look, and I think it helped make it look pretty realistic, but I also recognized I do need a lot more practice making feathers, because that was the part of this particular video that didn't go as well as planned, even though it was the part I was most excited about doing because I loved the colors. So I touched a little bit about preserving highlights and areas of the lightest color a little bit when I was talking about making the eye, but you're definitely going to want to leave gaps in the drawing where you want your lightest colors to be. As you can see, I'm using a white pencil right now, and that does make the paper look whiter, but over time your ability to add that white, especially over darker colors, is drastically reduced. So definitely be careful and leave spaces where you want the white to be. And on the opposite end of the spectrum from highlights would be areas of shadow. It's definitely important to have a photo available that you can reference. I was referencing the photo that my friend took constantly throughout this process, and you're just constantly referencing it, seeing what colors are using, and seeing where the areas of highlight and shadow are. Like behind every feather was a little area of shadow where the feather laid on top of the next one and then blocked the light slightly. So that definitely helped me create the look of overlapping feathers, and it's just something that maybe if you're not used to drawing from photos all the time, you might not realize. So always use your photo and really pay attention to the small details and the small variations in color that might be shadows or highlights. I know in the beginning of this video that I talked about how this is an extremely slow process, and it might not seem like it's that slow because this video is sped up 24 times the actual time it took me to create this, and there's also portions of it that are cut out. So I'm talking 10-12 hours to create something like this. It really is slow, but it's really enjoyable, and if you just want to just methodically work on something and really just kind of let your mind wander while you're creating, this would be a great project. I used a mixed media paper to do my drawing on, and I would recommend that paper. I also have done projects since then because I enjoyed this so much using suede mat board. Both were really fun, but I probably like the mixed media paper better. However, suede mat board does allow you to go over top of your drawing or your coloring way more frequently, and you can even add those white highlights on top of heavily colored areas. So that might be something that would be easier maybe for a beginner or for someone that isn't quite able to pay attention to the highlights as well. And I also use Prismacolor colored pencils. I know the two main brands are Prismacolors and Polychromos. I really like the Prismacolors, I can't complain. However, this is the only type of pencil I have, so I can't really leave a true recommendation because I haven't tried anything else. But I would recommend, if you're going to spend the time and energy to do this, that you do get some nice colored pencils, not just Crayola or something like that. And I think I have 75 different colors for mine. although I don't think that you would need much more than that, especially because, like I said, it's about building color and just using the components of a color to create individual colors that suit your needs. As this project nears its end, I just wanted to thank everyone for watching. I really appreciate the support. And I also started a new blog at CraftyLittleMegan.com. It has a bunch of other crafts that I don't necessarily take videos of. So if you're looking for more craft inspiration, check that out. And thank you for watching.